So I would like to start with a couple of words on our company. There we are. So we like to refer to FPT, well, we like to call ourselves a young company with 100 years of experience. We have been producing engines for a long time, and we are in fact one of the biggest global players in terms of engine productions. We produce more than 550,000 engines each year. We've got a global manufacturing scale, and then obviously we've got a global assistance structure as well. We produce engines for the various missions. You see some examples. We obviously produce for on-road, and you will see many of our engines in the, for example, in the Iveco trucks. We produce for agriculture. You will see that in agricultural equipment, and obviously power generation and marine, which is the focus of this conversation that we're going to have today. The first topic I would like to introduce is the trends, and I refer back to what you were saying, Jonathan, the trends that are shaping our industry, if you like. The first one needs to be uptime. So logistics disruption paired with increasing costs, all of this poses a big challenge to the operators. It is clear that all those that are using their boats, their vessels as an asset, they want, quite rightly, to extract the maximum from that. And that means uptime. Every time the vessel is down, needs to have a maintenance, needs to have an unscheduled maintenance, it's losing money. So the first important, I think, trend that is characterizing what we're seeing in the future is the need for greater and greater uptime. Obviously, I think we can all agree that maintaining uptime with increasing technology and complexity, which is the scenario we are facing, I think we all see that engines, components are getting more and more complex. Along with the complexity, it becomes more difficult to keep these, vessels always running. And that's therefore the second trend, I think, increasing complexity. And certainly if we need to give a trend for the future, as Jonathan has already rightly said, the efforts towards decarbonization that are being asked to all of us are making this complexity even greater in the future. So the trend is not going to change, it's going to get worse if anything. These trends, from a manufacturer point of view, what these trends demand is connectivity and digitalization, receiving data from the assets. If we see this from a manufacturer point of view, it makes perfect sense. If we see this from an end user, from an operator point of view, let's adopt a slightly different point of view. If you consider that less than 5% of the marine industry is currently using condition-based maintenance, which is, it's not rocket science, and the costs are clearly outweighing, the benefits are clearly outweighing the costs, it will be clear that the fact that the end user may see all of this data as a concern, he may even be scared from all this data. I think we all think it can become a relevant concern. Are our customers, are the operators afraid of being submerged by data? Are they afraid that they're not going to be able to cross this sea of data? And the more we go on, the more the units communicate, the more this data increases, and it becomes a bigger and bigger sea. So as a manufacturer, as FPT, we believe that it is necessary to have a compass to cross this sea of data, if you like. And this compass needs to be to integrate in the most seamless way in the processes and the systems of the ship, and above all, using our expertise as manufacturers, as designers of the engine, our unique expertise, we may say, to make it as simple as possible for the customer to use this data in his benefit. So it will come as no surprise that we have devoted a lot of energy into developing what we call predictive maintenance. So if I'm able to identify in advance what could be a problem, then I'm able to schedule. I will not be caught by surprise. So we have quite a big activity in designing algorithms that are able to crunch the data that is coming from the telematics, all this sea of data that we were referring, and come out with simple and actionable insights that can be put in place. And that leads us to the second, let's say, focus that we give, which is the faster diagnosis. At the end of the day, we need to keep it as simple but also as practical as possible. And there is a big risk to go too much theoretical. And I mean, as you've seen, I come from after sales. So I always bear in mind that at the end of the day, there is a technician that needs to diagnose something. And so we take great care in developing and in validating things that can improve the diagnostic time for an issue, which is usually when it can go wrong. Third one, obviously, how are they used? How are the components used? All this information coming from hundreds of thousands of units, you will see, are relevant for us, also for our engineering, for our quality, to ensure that the marriage between the engine and the vessel is the best possible marriage, and the usage is the best possible. So these are the three main, let's say, focus that we put in developing our connected services. What you see here, it's, and I will describe it briefly for you. This is just the interface of our control room, which is the core around which these services run. Starting from the left, you can see where we are currently active, which is globally. Obviously, the kind of engines that we connect. We have recently onboarded, so I mean, we just finished onboarding, so the number of the connected units reported here, 81,000, has already increased to 140,000. So we are currently monitoring 140,000 engines, 24/7, obviously. And the algorithms that I was referring to, so the 32 health index that you see in the lower part, give us an average advance in respect to the failure or to the issue of 9 hours with 71% of efficiency, which means that out of 10 alerts that we provide, 7 are correct. It's still not where we would like to be. We would like to be above 80%, but you know, it's a journey. It is a journey for our customers, it is a journey for us as well. As we go on, we validate and we learn from this. You see also the population. Now I will not go into detail. As I said, we've got a stand here, and we can go. If there is any interest, please feel free to pass. In the last slide, there were also the details of the stand with our dealer handy. I would like just to say that every engine data is crunched, alerts are then proposed, and they're divided into what may be in the future have the issue, whether it is the injection, whether it is the turbo, whether it is a plant maintenance, whether it is a usage, a mission. It's quite broad. So that said, I would like to show you some numbers, because I'm aware that on these topics there is also a lot of hype, to be honest. In other words, when you look into, let's say, what manufacturers promote, the gap between what is said and what is actually done, in some cases, it's not negligible. So we take great pride in showing numbers and monitoring what we do. So I can tell you that for the predictive maintenance, so the top of our service, we're able to anticipate up to 2 days before the potential issue. And 2 days can be a game changer for an operator. It can be the difference between scheduled and unscheduled, stopped or not stopped. I can tell you that developing the algorithms and taking care that the troubleshooting hints that we give on the base of the telematics, we're able to reduce 50% the time of diagnosis and repair, because we all experience it is in the diagnostic part where things can go wrong, and we make sure that that bit is reduced to the minimum possible. And as you already have seen, in terms of advanced monitoring, all this information is from us pulled and shared with our engineering, and we make sure that the mixture between the engine and the vessel is the best that it can possibly be. With this, I would like to thank you for your attention. As I said, we try to keep it very simple and high level, and please come and visit us in the stand Q64, and we will be happy to answer any additional questions that you may have. Thank you very much.